Hey Flosstube, Happy New Year! This is Michelle. If you've never watched me before, my channel name is Farm Girl, and thank you for watching. I have to start with an apology about being so late in the year. I actually did. I feel like I say this every time, but I did record a video. This time it was not technical difficulty. I actually had a conversation with McKenna about this. She thought I should have posted it, and I was going to post it. I have heavily edited it. I did find some editing software, so I'm editing now. So I'm going to be in certain pictures. But yeah, I did a little partaken prior to my video, and I had a couple glasses of wine, and wow. I mean, until you videotape yourself, and you will never believe how uninhibited you become after just a glass or two. They weren't even big glasses. They were like that big. But I had two. So full confession, I cuss like a trucker in rush hour, and it's, I have to be very mindful not to swear. I mean, I don't ever see anybody, so, I mean, it's just my family for the most part, my husband I'm talking to that, and if I let out the Effenheimer at home, it's probably not ideal that I talk like that, but I mean, it is what it is, but I try not to do it on my videos, but yeah, I let the Effenheimer fly a couple times, and I was like, ooh. Oh, it was kind of funny. So I suppose you thought I quit Flosstube, but girl, I can't quit you. So I'm back. Happy New Year. You will see Dookie in the background. He's just hoovering up all the bunny poop. It's kind of par for the course around here, and if they... And we have, so this is my new craft room, by the way. Anyways, let's do Dookie update. Oh, so here he is. He is, Dookie, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Are you mama's good boy? Are you a good boy? He is the best puppy ever. He is coming up on, let's see, he'll be on January 29th, he'll be 6 months old. So he's still very undersized for his age, but he's like, what are you doing to me? Let's see. He's getting his adult coat. I love his little tail. See how it's actually going to have like a fringe, a long fringe. When he's a little bit, see, he's getting so, he's got a nice long coat now. Unlike our German short hair, who's always cold, he is always hot. He's always panting. So he's such a good boy. He listens really, really well. I'm really kind of surprised. But yeah, he's so chill for a 6-month-old puppy. I mean, English setters, if you can get one. I would not even call him hyper. I just think he is the best dog ever. And he listens so well, and he's just so chill. All right. Oops. You can see the baby bunnies. They're on top of their nesting box. They're so silly. Let me grab one. Okay, so this is the boy. Say hi, buddy. Don't go anywhere, little girl. So he's a broken black. So the broken is, his dad is solid black. His mom is a broken blue. He's a Holland Lop. So he's got floppy ears. And he's just adorable. Okay, and then sister, who is crawling away, she's a broken blue. So she's the dilute version. So she's... And that's exactly what it sounds, is they carry a recessive dilute gene, which dilutes their color. He just is hobbling away here. This guy, she's going to actually be sold. She's going to one of my daughter's best friends, and she's going to be an agility bunny. Yeah, aren't you? Her name, he's already named her, and she's going to live with Justin, and her name is Blueberry. She's very sweet. Say hi, baby. Yeah. All right, let me put him away. All right, and quick update. This is Mama. What do you have here? What do you have there? She's, remember from my farm tour video, she was my favorite bunny because she's so sweet. Yeah, she comes right up to the cage, always. So this is pretty typical of a doe. This is called a dewlap, this big fat layer here. And she got that while she's pregnant. Oh, she's such a sweet girl. So my daughter actually had champion doe in litter. I'm just feeling like one of her teats feels like it's a little crusty. So they feed their babies just like we do. They breastfeed them and they can get mastitis. And isn't she the cutest? Yeah. I don't know if she's got a name or not. She's very sweet. Yep, so this was her second litter. She's a very good mom. She's super chill. Yeah, so I'm gonna put her back. Okay, and how do you know the true mark of a Minnesotan is when it's 40 degrees outside in January? It's like a heat wave in your, I'm like sweating right now. I'm so hot. So, yeah, to bust open a window. Look at Dookie. Okay, so this, and I'm sorry, I may be repeating myself because I don't remember what I said during my last video and what I didn't, other than what I said was inappropriate and not for Flosstube. Oh, it was pretty funny. I did some heavy editing. Okay, so here's the story. I actually did some heavy editing with that video, and then so it was uploaded into some editing software, and I didn't have enough space on my disk to save it. So I figured since it was updated or had been uploaded into the software or into the app, I thought that I could delete my original version from my phone, which turns out you can't do that. So I went back and deleted that, and obviously it deleted it from my app, and that sucked because I spent like 2 hours editing it. So one of these days I just keep telling myself not to give up, and then I'm gonna get used to this editing stuff and the stuff in general. I'm gonna start out with just a farm update. So if you follow me on Instagram, I put up our kidding calendar and it's coming soon. I saw Cowgirl Kate is lambing, and today she actually posted a picture of a bummer lamb. She raises, she's got black face. I don't actually know what the breed is. I don't raise sheep, so I just know that at the county fair there's white sheep, or there's white faced lambs and there's black faced lambs, and the black faced lambs always win the market. Trying to think what the white sheep are. I have a girlfriend, actually one of my best friends. They raise white faced lambs, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the breed is. It's not a polypay, but it is they are used for wool and they're used for market. And she does really well. She gets like champion or reserve every year since she started showing. So she's got really nice lambs. They just started their lambing season, and they started with a brand. Their first one to lamb was a lamb that Ella bought with her own money, and she was so super excited. They were hoping to get a ram out of it so that they could use it to breed back to all their other ewes, because they have actually used the same ram 2 years in a row. So he's actually bred back to some of his daughters. Not super uncommon, especially not in market goats, because you're raising them for market. And it actually is the quickest way to increase your genetic gene pool if you've got stuff in your ram that's really good. And I actually have a few does that are bred back to their sire this year too, because he's a really nice buck and comes out of really nice genetics, and I want to pour those genetics into my own herd. So anyways, so her first lambing was a little rough, and she ended up with twins, lost her ram, which was so disappointing. But she's got a little bummer ewe lamb now that she's bottle raising, and she's so in love with her. And I'll insert a picture of Ella and her little lamb here. This is my dry pen, meaning that they are not bred and that they are going to stay dry yearlings, and they will freshen. Freshening is when they kid and they come into their milk supply, and they will freshen as 2-year-olds. I do that for Nubians. They're a little bit slower growing, but Saanens are a rugged beast. And I'm sorry, I have a lamp behind me. It's getting dark out, so. These guys, so this is how many does will be having babies in our herd this year. And I'm gonna try and prop this up here. Okay, so the first 6 are my senior does, and these are all the white does: Trista, May, Chloe, Gamble, and Lydia. Bomb is a Nubian, and I bred her by artificial insemination. You can see artificial insemination. So I used a straw of semen. I had gone over that in one of my videos, and got her to stick. These, from Gem down, these are all yearlings, or these are all actually kids. They'll be yearlings once they freshen. And they are all Mo effective daughters. Oops, sorry. And you can see, so I have here the date that they were bred, when I saw them in heat, and this is when I would have bred them. I hand breed everything. I do not put a buck in the cage. When I see a doe that's in heat, I take them out, I bring a buck over to them, and he breeds her, and I put her back. So I always know 100%, and then I come in and I write it down. I usually have my husband text it to me, like who we bred that night, so I have the date stamp on it and who I bred them to, and so it works really well. And then I come in and I record it on this calendar. Now I know for sure the does that are on here are bred, the ones with the arrows. This one, and this one are does that came back open after I sent in pregnancy tests. So I draw blood from them and have them tested for a few diseases, for CAE and Yonis, and then and pregnancy tests. And these are the does that came back open, which I knew one of them was. I was a little disappointed. I knew Kiki was open, and I was going to keep her as a dry yearling. So now I've just put a buck in with her. I put Stallone in with her. And then I was pretty disappointed in Gem, but I actually have a buyer for them for June when they freshen, so that's great. Pop was also open, which I was surprised about, but she just came into heat yesterday and was bred, so. Yeah, and same thing here. So these are, like I said, from here down, these are all Mo effective daughters, and you can see some of them. Ruby and Paisley were both bred back to him. So their sire, so these next kids, their sire and their grandsire will be the same. This buck here is one that I bred, so this would be a half brother. So Nikki is bred to this buck, who is Jem's full brother, but because they share the same sire. So we're not changing anything but with genetics, but we're keeping their genetic makeup on their sire side the same by breeding them back. So you only want to do that if you have really good genetics and you have a buck that's worthy of doing that. If you breed crap to crap, you're going to get, if you breed a buck that's out of a doe with a really poorly attached udder, and you breed him to a doe with a really poorly attached udder or feet problems or anything like that, and then you take a daughter out of that and breed it back to the sire, you just magnify those bad traits. You can. It's not to say you always will, but if you have a really nice buck with a beautiful dam and you have good qualities on both sides and you breed that sire back to the daughter, then you can really end up, and I've seen it go both ways. In fact, I have a friend who did that, bred a sire back to his dam, actually. So the doe had a son, and the son was used to breed back to his mom, and out of that produced triplets. The buck is working at a dairy, and the 2 daughters, one was pretty, I don't know. She was sold as a kid, and she was pretty ugly at the time, but you never know what she would have turned into. And she may have had a great mammary, but she was pretty awkward looking. The other doe is phenomenal and really beautiful. So, but at the same time, there are some certain traits like roachy backs or posty legs or things like that that can be really magnified. And I actually did see some of that. So he doesn't have, and he's just like, to me, he's just perfect. So there's not, and it depends on what you like too. It depends on what you like to see in your barn. But I like everything that I see in him, so he is getting a workout. So looking forward to that. So our first doe actually is due to freshen at the end of February. So I just have a few weeks left, and that's Gamble, and then her mom is right behind her. Gamble doesn't actually look too big. I'm sure she's got twins in there. She's actually, she freshened last year, as a 1-year-old. She was bred as a kid, same as all these kids. And Kiki is actually her sister. So she was bred as a 1-year-old, and she freshened by herself, no problem, with a huge 13-pound doe kid. So normally my senior does will have kids that are like 9 and 10 pounds, and that's pretty normal. But my first freshening does, if they have twins, they're usually more like 7. Between 7, 8, 9 would be pushing it, but that's pretty typical for a buck kid. But she had a big, huge 13-pound single, and that's not ideal, but it happens. We were standing right outside the barn. We had people visiting. It was the Saturday before Easter, and she pushed her out with like no problems at all. So and I have a picture on Instagram, and I will insert that picture here. Okay, so yeah, big doe. But she pushed her out, no problems, and we didn't even hear a peep out of her. A lot of times they'll yell and scream and carry on just like a human would, but never heard a peep out of her. And my son came out and said, "Hey, Gamble just had a baby," and wow, holy smokes. So we went out there, we were so happy, and she's a beautiful doe, and that's Kiki. She had Kiki, so yeah, super excited. A lot to look forward to this year. So I'm going to show you, I said I'd do a house tour, and I actually put all my Christmas stuff away long ago, and of course I never got to it. So I did just want to show you a couple things, that I put out for Christmas, and some of my stitchy things. These were Cricut collection, and I did them as charted, and I like them. I think I would do them smaller. And there are lots of, this is actually stitched white, so you can see I stitched it very tight. And this is also, I think this was probably only 4 strands instead of 6. I don't know, it doesn't really look like 6 strands of stitching to me on the white, but it's outlined in a gold Krennic cord. Yeah, and it's done on, this is probably like a 7-count Clostern fabric. It's dated fabric, so, but these are super old. And then I did shepherd's bush stockings for all my kids. And the first one I did was for Allie. She's 24 now, so this was hers, and it's got, I actually use these, like I stuff these full, and these are what my kids get all their stocking stuff in. So they're actually missing, I think each of them is missing. So this one's missing a charm here. I don't even know it goes there. It's missing one of the beads here. And have something on their neck. I think that's it. But it's got so there's charm packs that go along with each of these. Are $20 extra, but I mean, they're just really cute. Little stars and this is so loose. Needs to be sewn back on. Little charms, and I don't know, I can tell something went here because it's been pulled out, but yeah, so that's that. I did them all in just like a broadcloth, a solid color broadcloth. You can tell it's kind of this burgundy color. Sorry about the lighting, it's getting dark, so this is more reflective of the color here. Yeah, kind of what went with the times. Madeline came next. I stitched hers next. And let's see here. Oh, look at this charm, is like barely hanging on. It's hanging here, so. And then this one, you can see it's been ripped out there. All the charms are here. I think there may have been one more up here. And this is really loose. I like the hair. It must be in some kind of wool. I don't know if you can, see if I can catch it. So you can kind of see here's I always forget it's down here. You can kind of see how raised that is. And you can see how woolly it is. And I like that texture. So That's Madeline's and done in kind of the hunter green of the 90s. Well, I guess she was born in 2001. Yeah, 2001. Then Josh was born in 2002. And his is missing. Oh, this is about to fall off. You can see they just get beat up. But I don't want to go to the trouble of stitching these and then just having them sit there. I want them to use them, and I don't mind if, I mean, eventually I'll replace these and fix these. And one of the lambs here is missing a charm. But I'll just go sometime when I'm at Stitchville and replace all those. But the kids really like these, and they look forward to them, and you know, they're kind of sentimental about them. So I really enjoy doing them, and I'm super excited to get my grandkids done, because this is what they had this year, and this is a sad story. Yeah. These should be for the dogs, not for grandchildren. So, okay, let's start with my finishes then. Okay, first finish, and I don't know how you guys do this and keep all organized, but I literally like went through and said, I think I'm pretty sure I finished that this year, and that's what I went with. I mean, I know I finished all these this year. It's harvest time, and I showed in a previous video, I stitched the center of this turkey. I did that 2 years ago. That was the first thing I did. And then I also stitched the witch. Here it is. And this was part of my year of whips. And I actually think I was going to stitch a pumpkin. It doesn't have a pumpkin. It's surrounded by pumpkins. But I was going to take one of these pumpkins and just stitch it right down here. And I was just going to do like a little pillow or something. But I think I'm just going to take the pumpkin out. I just look silly and call that done. I don't know why I should be flying around with a pumpkin in front of her. So that one is a dunsies. And yeah, and so I did the top one here. And that, I guess that. Okay, so I did those like before Flosstube, so I'll do the ones I did before Flosstube. And the next one came out of a Country Living magazine. They actually had started, I believe last year, doing a little series, and every issue they would put out a little cross stitch pattern. So there was like a watermelon and a guitar, and they had this ball jar, and rubber boots, but this ball jar I really loved. And this was going to be, so I'm the sewing chair for our 4-H club, and I was going to do this as a project, but then we switched clubs and I haven't done that. So I think I finished that early. I don't remember when. I just know it was early. Okay, and then this was another finish prior to Flosstube. This is a Little House Needleworks. I want to say it's called America. If you are looking for it, let me know. I talked earlier, I'd shown this before. This frame was my daughter had a little sampler in it. She's going to be 16 next week, so. And it was painted like a purple, and it's just really not her thing, so she gave me permission to take it out. I actually saw somebody who had framed this in an 8x10, and it looked really cute too, so I don't know if I'll take it out or not. But I don't like the red. I'm going to repaint it black. At the same time I was doing that, I stitched, this was a freebie from Not Forgotten Farm. And this is called, I believe, Flag Maker. And this is stitched on a 16 count Heatherfield in hickory. And yeah, I don't think you can really find this fabric anymore, but I had a big piece of it. This is what I did the Little House Needleworks project on, and this is how much I have left, and I'm kind of coveting it. I've had it actually in my stash for like 20 years. But I went to go buy more of it, and you can't find it anywhere, so kind of a bummer. And if you do, you find it in some crazy colors. And it's super thick. It's like wool. kind of, see how thick that is? Yeah, and it's got these like little kind of, I mean, this doesn't as much, but some of the others have like flecks of color. This does have kind of flecks of orange. You can see a little bit of orange and stuff in there. I really like this fabric. So if you know where you can get it in kind of more of the neutral colors and not really some of the crazy colors, let me know. Okay, next one was Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is one of the monthly villages. I did July. I bought July and December, and I stitched. This is and I was gonna do like 4 of them, but honestly, I hated the way that it turned out. This is a Dublin linen, so it's 25 count, and it's in flax. The color and everything I'm okay with. It's just like, it's so gigantic. And I don't know, I'm so used to stitching on like a 25 count. If I had done this over 1, I would have loved it. And I would, if I redid it, I don't know what I'm going to do with it now, because it's like just so ginormous. I can't stand it. But like the pattern. Next, I started Santa's Village, also by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I got 4 of the houses complete. I'm stitching it as recommended threads, recommended fabric, which is Witchell lamb's wool. I hate this stuff. Oh, I hate this stuff. I almost exclusively use Zweigart linens, and I am almost always a Belfast linen stitcher. It's just my thing. So this was, I guess I don't mind the stiffness of it so much. It's just that someone posted a picture on, like, it was Under the Sea. It was Leslie's. It was her under, sorry, I'm so hot right now. Like, I feel like my hair is sticking to my neck. It's like, we're having a serious winter thaw here. Like, it's a typical January thaw. I'm looking at my open window. I'm sorry if you hear the traffic. But our property is such a wet mess right now. It's so frustrating. Just like puddles, huge puddles, treacherous puddles everywhere. So I'm hoping that some of it drains off. But then there are huge snow piles, like snowbanks from plowing. And so the water can't go anywhere. So it's just standing water. And what's going to happen is it's going to freeze. And then it gets to be like a skating rink. And then it's like really fun trying to get to the barn. Anyway, so back to fabric. And I have, hang on just a sec. Okay, sorry. Okay, so anyways, that darn Instagram, it'll get you, right? So you see something and then you become completely dissatisfied with what you're stitching and the fabric that you're stitching it on. So I'm going to start it over. I was it was a toss-up for me. And I can't remember, it was Ice Princess and it was Under the Sea fabrics. And it was really pretty, but I didn't want to order it because I wanted it in linen and I just didn't really know what it was going to end up looking like. And the picture that I saw was perfect, but it was on a Lugana, and I don't do Lugana or Joblin anymore. So I went to my LNS, and this was before Christmas, and I picked out, these are both Picture This Plus, and I'm sorry, it's so washed out. It's a little better. Okay, so this is Arctic, which I really liked. But it's got, and actually you can't really see it now. Yeah, you can. It's got a lot of green in it. Let's see. It's got a lot of green undertones. And this is Ariel. And this is very like sky blue, you know, more what I was looking for. And they were both in linens. And so I'm going with this. I love our LNS because it's Stitchville, and you can call and they're happy to mail order, but they're so awesome because they order all their fabric a yard at a time, and no matter what, if they don't have it, they'll just order, if they don't have the size that you want, because what they do is they get it like this, you can see, they get it, and then they get a 1 yard that's, the edges are, overcasted, and but they cut it up, and then so this is a 9x9 piece, and it's $4.39, and they'll cut it for if they have like an 18 by 27 inch piece and you want less of it, they'll take that and they'll just cut it up, and they charge you pretty much by the square inch, so you only have to get whatever size you want, and then they will ship it to you. So they are ordering me in a piece because they didn't have it, and I just want the 24 by 24 inch piece that is required for the size. So she's ordering me a yard and just gonna cut that, and I love them for that. So I'm going with the Arctic, and she did say it was done after January because they were out of the office, I think the week between Christmas and New Year's. So she said she wouldn't order it until the Monday after New Year's, or Tuesday after New Year's, whatever it was. And so they ordered it, and I'm just waiting for the call to get it. And then for the long truck up there, it's like a 45-50 minute drive for me with no traffic. So it's not super easy to get up there, and I don't go up there a lot. And I know you should support your local needle workshop, but most of the time I just buy online because it's too much of a pain to get up there. So anyways, so that I'm going to be restarted, but it is included in my my finishes because I did complete 4 houses. And then, oops, sorry. Then I have some Year of Whip start that I went kind of gung-ho on. Oh, and then this is one last Prairie Schooler that I finished. This was also a before Flosstube finish for me. I love this so much. I think it's out of December or January. I can't remember which one, but it's out of one of those. So that's super cute, like that. Okay, so then we go to my Year of Whips. I don't think any of those were my Year of Whips. Oh, you know what else I had? Oh, here's the Prairie Schooler. So it was January. And I just did the small one, and then there's the large one. And then I totally want to do this as well. It's like a little ornament. Love that. I love Prairie Schooler. I also did this right before I started Flosstube, this drum pin keep. I love these so much. I really struggled with the finishing. I want to do this top stitching. My problem is that I always wait until like we're walking out the door, and then I say, oh wait, I gotta finish your mom's gift. It's just what I do. I don't know why. So I'm almost embarrassed to show you because the finishing is horrendous, but I did finish this. I put Edie's initials on it, and I put 2016, and this was her Mother's Day gift. So I will insert a picture here. Okay, sorry, where were we? My poorly executed Mother's Day gift, I believe. Okay, so my next finish is another Prairie Schooler, and this was 3 Billy Goats Gruff. You may remember Dookie decided to take a bite out of it there. Literally got up for a minute to go to the bathroom while he was sleeping, and he chewed it. So I think I'm probably just going to make this into like a utilitarian type thing, maybe front to tote or something like that. I was originally going to frame it for our Minnesota Dairy Goat Association conference for their auction as a fundraiser, but I don't really feel good about doing it with a hole in it. So if I do a tote or something like that, it'll be fine. And so that was also a Year of Whips finish. My next Year of Whips finish, and I think I started with 15 or 16. I'm down to like 9 or 10 now. So this was a baby sampler. It was called Gabrielle Rose, and it's by La Di Da. And I had originally started this for my husband's best friend. They had a daughter. She just turned 7, so I ended up making this into our like a wedding, not sampler, but and it has, so we were married on Valentine's Day in 1998, and I put Gary's initials and my initials, and that was a Year of Whips finish. Thank you, sir. Do you want to say hi to Flosstube?
Hi, Flosstube.
We'll say it on camera. Wave nice.
Hi, Dookie.
Okay, take him with you and take him outside potty with you.
Flosstube. Ow. Is that stupid thing?
Alrighty. Toodaloo.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Take him outside for a potty. He is such a good boy. So we just had my grandkids. Lord, when they left, I had to take a shot of vodka. Like, no joke. My grandson was an angel. He's 5. And I do remember him going through a kind of a really crappy age at 3 where everything was no, and he would cry at everything, and everything was a nightmare. And my angel of a granddaughter, who she's a full head of steam. Lord, she talked back to me. I think she may have sworn at me. Ugh. And then when she was walking up, these are the kind of arguments you have with a 3-year-old. So my mother-in-law wasn't here for Christmas because we had an ice storm, and Allie and Matt and the kids, they were coming back from Wisconsin, so they did come because they have to drive by us anyways, and they couldn't wait, and they have a big diesel truck, so it's safe to do, and it was no issues. So anyway, so my mother-in-law gave them presents, and they actually just got them today because it's the first time we've seen them since Christmas. So my mother-in-law got Lexi, my granddaughter, a guitar, and she loved it. And she was hilarious all weekend. But let me tell you, that thing is noisy. My daughter tried to leave it here, and I was like, hell to the no. Take that thing home with you because that is not staying here. Never, ever again. All weekend long, they fought over that guitar, and it was hilarious because they would hold it up over their heads. My grandson, the first time he picked it up, we turned around, we're watching him. He had his back to us, and he's got it up over his head, like rocking out. And then he turned around and slid, because we have hardwood floors, across the living room on his knees, like, ah! It was hilarious. It was hilarious. He's 5. So this is what it's like with a ridiculously headstrong 3-year-old. Grandma, look at my cum-tar. Look at my cum-tar. And I said, Lexi, it's not a cum-tar, it's a guitar. No, Grandma, cum-tar. I mean, this is like the arguments I have with her all weekend. She's just, you can't tell her anything. And she got mad at me because I wouldn't so her mom was, she's 24, so she is up. Actually, she liked Pokemon. I remember I used to pick her up every day from kindergarten. She would come home and watch Pokemon at 3 o'clock. And she was in kindergarten at the time, so she was 5, so 19 years ago. That was when, and nobody knew who Pokemon was, and I'd be like, yeah, she's obsessed with this show Pokemon. People would be like, what? By the time she was like 10, we were eating every single meal at Burger King for the Pokemon toys and the little balls that came with them. It was crazy, and she's got like thousands of them, and I kept them, and so we were playing with those over the weekend. We watched Pokemon cartoons and learned all about Pokemon, and she had a meltdown because I would not let her take the Pokeball home. Her mom didn't want her to, so I took it away from her, and my daughter says, now, say goodbye to everyone. We have to leave. And she was like, bye, Maddie. Bye, Josh. Bye, Grandpa. And I was like, what? Like, I can't even deal. I just told my daughter, I will be praying for you because you need it. Oh, that kid, she's hilarious, but she is a full-on head of steam. Oh, so bossy. So bossy. Okay. So next finish would be, I did 6 of these, and I call these 2 finishes, so 3 of the little sleds I would call 1 finish. So, and I did 6 of those total. These were also FFOs. Okay, so these are the first 3. These are the Quaker sleds. Super cute. They hung on one of my mini trees. And so I'll just throw them down there. And then these are snow country sleds. These. I will definitely be doing more of these. I love these. I want to do the salt box houses for sure. They also sell these little sleds at Stitchville for $4. And again, those were, did I show you these Foxwood Crossings? Okay. that was here. And then I also did, it's called RFD sledding. And also an FFO. I was going to do 2 of them, but I also only did 1. This is on my year of whips. So that was another finish. I like that a lot. These are fun. So cute. And I have a hard time stitching the same thing twice, so honestly I'll probably get a different pattern. And they have a snowman one, which I really like. Oh, and then here's the Little House Needleworks. Oh yeah, and it is called America, just in case you were wondering. Okay, and then next was, these are a couple of freebies. This was, oh my goodness. Oh, here, I know I have it. Hang on. Okay, I couldn't find it. And I always like to give credit, especially if they're freebies. I think is it something Little Stitcher. She's on Etsy. I love her stuff. This was a free pattern from her blog. If you really want to know, just shoot me a message down below, and I will certainly give you her blog spot. But she actually had it framed very similarly, and I put it in this frame that I got from Goodwill with just a piece of ribbon. This was on some 32 count lamb's wool. My reflection. I was like, what is that? That I had coffee and tea dyed myself. And this frame was gold. It was like some really cheapy, and this is what the picture was in it when I bought it from Goodwill, and I just spray painted it. I love spray paint. I use a ton of it. And continue with my Halloween finishes. This was also another little freebie. This is called Potted Jacks, and it was from Primitive Betty. And I know I've shown that before. And I love this. This is probably my favorite finish of 2016. I'm a super practical kind of girl, and I raise Angora bunnies as well. So I always have, like, this is kind of the seconds. Like, the stuff that you can sell is really, I don't know if I have any up here or not. Not handy, but the stuff that I harvest that's like for spinning, I take these those rectangular Tupperware and I lay them out, and I usually try and lay them out like from tail up, so that it's similar fibers, that you don't get anything that's really different as yours. So it might be one side may be a little shorter than the other, the staple length might be a little different, but it's pretty consistent as you're moving through it. Some people collect it and just toss it into a big bin like this, but I don't like doing that. These are like seconds from cutting, and you can see, this is why Vanna tells you to loft, 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 because a polyester bat will do this too. And you can see all the little nubbies and stuff in there. And this is just stuff I brush out. And I will like loft this. This is like probably the best example of why you loft. And you can see there's like little bits. These are really hard nubbies, and see, as you pull them, even this right here is like so yucky. You would never spin that, but you can take these hard clumps and just see it separates the fibers, and you get those little nubbies to go away. And so you can see here, see, it just pulls those fibers apart and doesn't mat them. And even polyester, like I said, those fibers will mat if you don't loft these. And so that's why, and I can show you, so kind of before and after. And this is actually how you spin it too. You can actually, a lot of people spin right off the rabbit like this. It doesn't take long to do. And see, there's like, this actually, Angora is so soft, and if you don't pull and pluck them as they're molting, this wool that's loosened up, if you don't get it out of there, will actually, it'll felt right to them, and that's where you get these like mats. And now here's the difference. This is lofted and this is not. See, it's just kind of a hard, and you can feel it, and you can feel like bumps and clumps in there. And this, if you're to, can you see? the hard lumps in there, and this is just like up here, and you can really feel them in there, and this is just soft and fuzzy. So that's why you laughed. Okay. But so the other thing with using wool, and I actually have wool seconds that I get from a friend of mine too who raises sheep, and so I don't really use polyester pad. I'm kind of spoiled that way, but I mean I do for really big projects, but not for these little pillows, and they have a weight to them which polyester doesn't have. This is just like so luxurious, I can't even stand it. This is so fabulous. So anyways, I just stitched that up. This is some cotton twine that came from the dollar section at Target, and then I backed it with some pumpkin fabric. But I'm like, this to me makes me happy. Like, this is my favorite. After that, I finished Plum Street Sampler Halloween delivery. I got this tray for, I'm pretty sure I got it for half off too. It was like yellow tag half off day. And it was, you can see it was kind of a walnut color. And I just, again, took a little steel wool to it, took the hardware off, it just screws on. And this was actually, oh my gosh, this is actually for cross stitch. I can't think of the company name now. Did you hear the owl? See if you can hear it. Can you hear that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyways, so this was, so and I just spray painted this. You hear that? Good thing we don't have any baby chicks because they'd be plucking them off. So I just spray painted that. This is actually a removable mat, which I also spray painted that. So, oh my gosh, that's so distracting. So yeah, I love it. And this was all recommended threads. I really love this. And then I just usually actually use it like a stitching tray. It's a little dusty. I really like FFOing, which is the best part of doing Flosstube. Okay, and then, I totally have no idea how many that is that I finished. I also finished this. This is Santa's Workshop. It has a little key on the end, and I stitched that. That came out of, I took liberties and put some rusty bells on the bottom there. And just some ribbon from Joann's. This is the back. I did recommended fabric. I changed out all the threads. I want to say it was silks that were recommended. That is not, I have goats, so that is not in my budget. And it was Primitive Needlework magazine, and it was their, it was their fall 2016. No, it was their Christmas. I don't know. It was in one of the, if you want to know which issue, let me know. I am happy to tell you. And then I hand finished it. Oh, you did like a back stitch all the way around. Yeah, I think it was in green, and then you stitched through those back stitches. So it's actually kind of a cool effect on the side there. I hope you can hear that owl. And I'm not just like telling you things. Okay, so that's that. And I seem to be missing. Hang on. Okay, not missing. They are in the bags. Okay, so next was Stacy Nash Primitives. This was the first time I had ever stitched one of her patterns. I have to say I'm pretty in love with her stuff now. And actually this is my working copy. This is the pattern here. Used pretty much all, no I didn't. I used pretty much the recommended threads. I used different color of their overdyed, and the only colors that I swapped out was the hat and the green for the tree. The red was like spot on. It's beautiful. I can't remember if I used the recommended fabric. I think I did. And there's my finish. And I love that red. I don't know if you can really, I think it's kind of showing it washed out. It is such a beautiful Christmas red, and it's got a lot of variegation in it. The only thing I wish I would have done differently with the oatmeal for the snowman is instead of stitching straight across, I wish I would have gone down. The directions do say to distress it after you stitch it with some, you know, coffee, tea, walnut stain, which I am going to do. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. The next one is Brenda Gervais. Okay, and it's called Jolly Happy Soul. This is beautiful. I did not like the fabric choice. I just thought the snowman got lost on that. I switched out pretty much every floss color. I don't keep track of what I did. I'm not 100% sure even what this color of, oh, it's a 32 count pearl gray, and a 9x13 was enough to finish it. But I love the way that white pops off of blues. And it is kind of a blue. Just slight is terrible. So yeah. And I actually used the red from December 25th from Stacy Nash. I know that that's, oh no, the Cardinals are $4.98 if I remember correctly. I believe the snowman is ecru, whatever. The Frosty is spelled out. That is Stepping Stone, which is either, I don't know if that's a Classic Colorwork or Weeks. Not sure. I think it's Weeks. Okay, I think that is all my finishes, and I'm at an hour, but I'm going to keep going. Oh, here, well, yeah, this is, oh, and I guess I did have, sorry. Okay, last time, promise. I did have, so I finished, I belong to the Stitch Along for the Village. Well, it's all of Hawk Run Hollow patterns. Let's all move to Hawk Run Hollow. Abby started a Facebook group. It's awesome. You should join it. There's actually a lot of people getting busy on this right now. So there's been lots of, there's a lot of participation in that group. I really like it because I feel like if you post something, you get a lot of comments back and vice versa. And I like it. If I'm going to join a sale, I want people to participate, and I really like this one. So I think for 2016, I finished the first block. I love this beyond anything. I did change it out. I don't know what this thing is here, so I stitched a sun, and the birds on a ledge is kind of weird to me. So, and I changed them out. I don't know what kind of birds those are supposed to be, but I made them into robins, and I stitched a branch. I have been going gung-ho on these, so I'm just going to show you block one for now. So you'll see my changes, the sun and the branch, and I don't know if you can really see their red bellies, but they are robins. Okay, and then for Whip's new start, so this would be included as one of my new, oh, and you know what, I did have one more finish, I guess. I actually finished this on New Year's Day, but it's freaking close enough. So this was Home of a Needleworker 2. And so if you're familiar with this, you see that I've used, I'm not sure what this fabric is actually. This was out of my stash. And this is not, I don't particularly like this fabric. It's an even weave. And it's not a Joblin, it's not Lugana. It's closer to Joblin than it is a Lugana, but I know it's not Joblin. But it's, and I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what it is. And it's would appear to be, it's definitely an even weave, and it's like a 32 count. You can tell by, you know, that it's like, it's coming to me as artificial. not artificial, but you know what I mean. I used to like Joblin used to be my go-to fabric. I freaking hate it. But anyways, so you'll see, like, I changed out everything. I think the lettering is original to the chart, but everything else I changed. And I just kind of did it as I went along. Our house is like a burgundy red color, so I changed it to match our house color. And I have teenagers, so every light in the house is always on. So I turned all my lights on in the house. And then I did, because the house was berries and these were charted, the house was red and the berries were charted to be kind of red, I just swapped them out to pink. And yeah, really like the way that turned out, other than I hate this fabric. But so that I actually finished on, I think I finished it on New Year's Day, but I literally had like one branch to do. So I would call that a 2016 finish.
It's the Amanda one.
Yeah. I changed the bottom a little bit. Read the bottom.
Rudy Kitchen, middle and... Oh my God. Habsana, inheritance of sunshine in your heart. Oh, I wanted to make this so...
It took me about 120 hours.
I can believe it. Oh, Michelle, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's gonna go in here.
Where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. I will find the place.
Right there.
Oh, Michelle, it's more beautiful than I thought it was.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Oh my God.
Then I will go and start with my first start of 2017, which is my girl Abby sent me a little present, and she sent on, so she just finished this, and then she sent me her chart with all the threads. That was so freaking awesome of you, Abby. I love you. And she sent me chocolate, which is long gone, friends, long gone. Some delicious German chocolate with hazelnuts, which is really the way to my heart. And then the other one was this intense, I'm a dark chocolate liker too. I know that she is too. And it was a, oh my gosh, like an intense orange. I mean, I had that with a cup of coffee and it was like amazeballs. So thank you so much, Abby. I really enjoyed that. And then I'm not typically a needle minder user. I am trying. Let me tell you a real quick story about the reason why this happened. So back before Thanksgiving, we got a new sofa, and we have been talking about it for a long time. So we had the Pottery Barn Grand Square, and it's like 96 inches long, and we bought it for our old house, which had a really big family room in it. And it doesn't work in our new house, and it's only kind of one wall, the very back wall, that it could go, and it sat there, and our house is so small, and it just didn't really work, and nobody ever watched TV in the living room because it was like so small. So everybody's always in their own rooms, and so we thought, well, we'll buy a smaller sectional. So we did. We bought this. And the hard part is, with all of our animals, we have to have slip-covered furniture. Like, it's just like no joke. Our dogs, I mean, animals destroy stuff. And so do kids. And having slip-covered furniture, I will never go back. And it's machine washable, and so is our stuff from Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn's quality is just totally tanked, and we'll never ever buy anything. And plus their customer service, because we did actually replace it originally with a chair and a love seat, and it was crap. I mean, by the end of 6 months, we had returned it, and that was an ordeal in and of itself. And then we tried to order new slip covers, because we have the PB Basic square chair, and then we had the large sofa. So, and part of the reason why we did that and spent the extra money to do that is because you're supposed to be able to have like lifetime, be able to replace your slip covers, even if they discontinue the furniture, because they keep the patterns on hand. You can special order them. So we did that, and I think it took 2.5 years. Well, it took probably a year and a half for the sofa, and they finally screwed up enough that I'm like, they finally said, we can't get it right. We're just going to send you your money back. So they sent us a check, and then a couple weeks later, we got the slip cover in the mail, and we're like, what the heck? We called Pottery Barn. He's like, the store manager's like, I don't even want to deal with it. Just keep it. So that's like a $1,200 slip cover. It was crazy, but I'm like, whatever. because we were still battling with the chair, and he's just like, just take it, blah, blah, blah. So we did that, and then we were still in the process of trying to get one for our chair, and they sent us 7, like, I'm not joking, people, 7 slip covers, and every freaking one of them was wrong. So we finally gave up on that, and then they said they were going to send us a new sofa, or the new chair, the actual chair with a slip cover together, so they knew we'd get the right one. But they wanted us to pay for it first, and then they were going to reimburse us. Not going to happen. So we finally put up a big enough stink. This is 3 years in the making, like, no joke. So ridiculous. So finally we got our money back, and we went and got, which is interesting that they could find our original purchase receipt, yet they couldn't get this damn slip cover right. So we junked Pottery Barn and went to IKEA, actually, and bought their, it's very similar style. The Ektorp. And so we bought that in the sectional, and really super reasonably priced. The slip cover, I will say it's not quite as nice as Pottery Barn, but for the price, 100% I would do IKEA 100% of the time. So we've had it now since like early November. No, I think we've had it before that. I think we maybe bought it in like September, because we got a new mattress in November, and we had the sofa first. In any case, it's been really nice. We love it. There's room for all of us, like all 4 of us and company can sit on it. It's been awesome. And I totally forgot where I was going with this and why I was even telling you about it. Okay. I remember now. Needle minder. So anyways, when our sofa was up against the wall, I put all my needles, which I have been doing for 100 years, in the arm. And because it kind of stuck up to the wall and it was like my spot, and nobody else sat there, it was no big deal. But once we had a sectional, and now I sit, instead of sitting here, I sit here because there's a table with a lamp behind me. I stick my needles there, and my son and my husband both sat on needles. My husband got really pissed off at me, and he said, God, why aren't you using needle minders? And I died laughing. One, because he has no idea what a needle minder is. He just knows that they hold needles. He has no, in fact, I asked him, and he thought it was something total. I don't remember what he told me, but it is totally different than what they actually are. So I was like, okay, I'll buy some needle minders. You don't have to tell me twice. So I did get, oh, dang it, it's downstairs too. I will insert a picture here. So this came from Sincere Stitches, my girl McKenna, and this was my very first needle minder, and it's so freaking cute. I was just looking at her site. I wasn't planning on buying a needle minder, and that had happened like the night before, and it's so pretty. But the top is rounded on it, and I kept forgetting it was there, so I put it on my projects, and I'd set my projects down, and my needles would be gone. I have seriously, like, no joke, I think I've lost 24 needles. I've recovered maybe 3 or 4 in the vacuum cleaner, but we have no idea where these are. So, and then just like a couple weeks ago, I bought 2 packs of needles. I'm down to 1, like 6 packs. So, and it literally took me 2 weeks while I was stitching on the Village of Hawk Run Hollow to lose all those needles. Now I have one coveted petite needle. I'm a petite needle user, and I cannot go back. That was thanks to Garrett Coffee Stitcher. And I thought, what the hell, I'll try them. And I have fallen in love, and I can't use anything else. Like, I can't. I have 1 left, so I'm going to have to order some more. But I don't know where they keep going. But yeah, with pets and toddlers, it's kind of worrisome that they're just floating out there in Never Never Land. But so I'm trying to get used to using them. I'm getting better. They're great for holding charts on. And I love Abby's. Did I even show you these yet? So I love Abby's. These are the ones that she sent me. Bunny. That's so cute. And she sent me the most adorable card. It had a little fox and a bunny. It's like me and her. So these have like the bomb diggity of magnets on there. They're like so powerful. This is not a good example because this is a smaller one, the bunny. But like this one, they're the real deal. I can't pull those apart. And I love them. I really like this. I don't know any better, but I mean, I do have a couple that don't have this, and this makes them way easier to get off. So, and you can't, like, I physically cannot pull them apart. It's really hard. So you have to kind of slide them off, but yeah, these are the bomb diggity. So, they're so cute. They're just so cute. So here's her info. I'm sure you all, she's got a Facebook group, so join it. But thank you, Abby. These are the best. I love them. So pretty. I love this one. So, okay, so back to, so this is what I've got accomplished. Okay, you might notice this tree, I mean, this stuff is so tedious. So you backstitch the tree in the brown, and then leaves are in a different color, so. Ugh. Oh, and I fixed Isaiah, yes, I did. And then I've got the two birds that sit on the top of the trees, but I couldn't take it anymore, so I moved on. And this has been, so I have a needle sticking out here because I have my floss in the back, just filling in the windows. This has taken so long. I mean, that block is darn near full coverage. There's so much stitching in there. But I've really enjoyed it. I just kind of, the house is all charted. It's all in DMC, and it was the recommended for the swaps for DMC. I just need to do the door, finish here, finish this window, do the back stitching, and then put in the roof and the chimneys. And then that one's done. This I did in, the yellow is a Dinky Dye silk. Otherwise, I'll be honest. I mean, I like stitching with silk. It's not like, ooh la la, like some people, but I can't even tell you how much I love this so much. I am, like, I'm having a really hard time putting it away. Like, I'm super de-duper stoked to do that red house there. Oh, I love this so much. I think I might save it. So I think I might go down here, which is not a house I'm as super excited about. I don't know if I'm going to stitch all those horses. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. But I do, oh, I love this. Yeah, and then this should be really quick. This should be, I mean, this should be way quicker than this. I mean, this is just so much stitching. I mean, look at it. And somebody else posted, it was a picture of this block, which I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that from? No, it wasn't. It wasn't even that one. It was this one. I was like, that is so cute. I wonder which one that is. And here it's the one I'm stitching, and I just never noticed it. Because you have certain ones that just kind of pop out at you, and I'm not really paying attention to what it is until I stitch it, because I think it's really fun to kind of see it progress. And I love this so much. I can't get enough of it. I am, sorry, I hate it when I leave it taut, but I am, I wasn't enjoying this on my scroll frame, so I bought some Q-snaps. I'm trying them again. They're okay, I guess. They're a lot easier to put on and off, and because I two-hand stitch, I never used to. I used to like leisurely stitch, but then I got, involved with Year of Whips, and I always feel like I'm in such a rush now, which isn't a bad thing for me. I don't feel pressure. I just want a fast stitch. So now I power stitch everything on my stand. So this hanging here doesn't bother me. And this is a picture of this plus 40 count maple sugar, I think is what it is. Pretty sure that's what it is. It's in a previous video, so, but if you really want to know, you can ask me, I'll find out. So yeah, so this is this is my 8-inch and my 11-inch Q-snap frames that I just took apart and stuck together. So it's okay. I don't like the scroll frames. I don't know. I do like the ease of putting stuff on and off the Q-snaps. So I am going to go back, I think, and finish this before I move it. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll never come back to it. And then I'll finish this probably tonight. Love this so much. The more I stitch on it, the more I love it. I can't remember now. Did I actually show you that I stitched this, or did I just show you that Abby sent it to me. I don't remember. I don't think I showed you this. So anyway, so she sent me the pattern. I had so much going on. We just had an incident happen on January 1st that evening that just like stressed me out to no max. So yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, I did this in like 2 days. And no, I don't normally stitch that fast, but this was like my keep me sane stitch. And it was super easy, and it's so cute. I mean, you just could not stitch it. Oh, okay. And so Abby mentioned that I had done this bird in red. I thought it was charted like that, but apparently not. I don't remember like making a conscious decision that I'm going to chart that as a cardinal. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I did. I changed that. And everything else is charted as is. And I love this. And look at Abby, aren't you proud of me? I even stitched the alphabet. And I would have skipped it, but I had to do this thread. And I copied Abby. Abby did a satin stitch there, and so did I. And it's so cute. My husband thought this was pretty much me in a nutshell. And this is on a 32 count, my kind of go-to linen. It's platinum. And it's a Swigart. So, okay, other new starts. I restarted my Haid. So in one video, I remember telling you, I got cut off, but I am doing to Jane Wooster Scott, and it is called A Wintry Heirloom. I love this so much. So this was my original start. First of all, I didn't hate this fabric. I stitched it 2 strands over 2, and oh, and it's just so fuzzy. But you can see how crappy the stitches look, especially when you get into like the confetti. It just looked terrible. And I mean, you can see the back where it starts to get really difficult when you have all that confetti stitching. So I guess I thought it was a page. I think this is just a half a page. I think the pattern itself is beautiful. I did a couple test swatches. This is this is a full cross 1/1, and then this was 2/1 tent stitched. So both are pretty darn good coverages. So I restarted it, and I went with the tent stitch because faster. And I don't know, I was feeling a little disappointed in the coverage. And you can see a little bit of white in there, but I mean, only if you're looking really close. I think I'm going to be fine with this. I want to do more. There's a couple others that I want to do, so I do want to get this done. So I'm willing to settle for that in order to be able to get it done in my lifetime. Oops. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I actually taught a friend I didn't teach her to stitch. She already stitches, but I posted this on Instagram, and look at how heavy the stitching is in the back. I mean, it's like better coverage than it is in the front. It's crazy, but I like it. I'm going to continue on with this. I just haven't been giving it any love since I started this, but she's like, what is this Haid? What is this all about? So her and I used to work at St. Francis together. And she is an ultrasound tech, and she's always stitching these little Mill Hill kits, and then she turns them into magnets, and they're all over her little workstation. So I knew she stitched, but so she messaged me. She's like, what is this Haid? And so I said, it says Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's crazy. You'll hate it, because she's always talking about how bored she gets. That's why she does a small project. And so she checked it out, and she fell in love with it. And Orietta is doing the same. I don't remember the name of it. It's super colorful, and I think it may be Books. I can't remember. I do remember there's like a sheep or a goat on it, and the colors are like phenomenal. But it's like a super size, like max size, like 90 some colors. And she like messaged me, and I couldn't believe she'd started. I'm gonna insert a picture here of her progress. And so my girl Mindy, she's like on board. She's so funny. She's pretty obsessed with it. she's very fit, very athletic. She works out a lot, and she's like, yeah, it's not good because I'm just obsessed with it, and every night I just want to come home and stitch on it, and that's pretty much what she's been doing since around the first of the year. And I think she might have a full page finished, maybe even started a second one. But so then she went gangbusters, and she's like, well, how do you do it? So I was telling her. So I sent her to Orietta first, and then I sent her to A Stitch Too Far to watch your recent tutorial on tent stitching, and then I sent her to Carolyn Mazio for parking, and she's doing it all. She is hilarious. So she started, and then she said, well, how do you stitch? How do you turn it over? So I told her about my stand, and so she bought like just the Edmunds basic floor stand. She bought Q-snaps to do it, and she's hilarious. Like, I literally told her about it. She ordered it, and the next week she's like, look, I have a page finished. I added her to Stitch Mania and to a couple other sites, and I know she's posted on there, and you guys have been really really good to her and giving her, she was pretty excited about it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I might try and get her on Flosstube. I did tell her about Flosstube too, and I told her I did videos, so maybe she'll start doing her own. You never know. Anyways, okay, so then my next start was, I tried so hard to be a good girl, and I joined like all the stitch alongs on Stitch Mania because I love to see what you guys are doing, and I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna do one too. So I did, it was like the color of the day thing, so I did gray, and this is part of my Year of Whip stuff, and this is, oh, and good news, I finally found a copy of Prairie Schooler. I have not gotten it yet, which makes me kind of nervous. I didn't have to pay through the nose for it. I only paid 25 bucks for it, which is enough, but it's an out of print. Okay, so this is Home for Christmas. What is in here? Oh, it's my working copies are in here. So this is part of my Year of Whips, and I also want to do this, and then I want to just do the center of this for an ornament. But so I did start it. The other one that I did on a piece of Joblin. So I bought another piece of Joblin. But I am really discovering how much I hate working on this. I just hate even weaves. I just can't. I'm a linen girl at heart. So I haven't decided yet. Like, now I'm stuck. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this or if I'm going to scrap it and go to a linen. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with this, but I just like you all to know that I do not enjoy it in the least. Okay, this is a super ridiculously long video. Please tell me if you hate long videos, and I will never do a next one again. I say that, but I don't mean that. You know I always break my promises. Okay, and then I'm reluctant to call it Hull or Stashquisitions because it turns out that Ginger Gerald Stitcher doesn't like those words. I saw that on his last video. Okay, so gifts to myself, I'm gonna call these. Okay, so I always like to go to Stitchville. They have like little pieces of fabric that you can get. I really like these. I like to keep them around, and a lot of times I'll just cut the tag off. And they're, you know, the hand dyes, they're 3 or 4. And I really want to start using more hand dyes. I usually don't. But you can see it's like $4.29 for this little 9x9, and I can do an ornament or something on it. Then I cut out the corner and I just throw it in a baggie so that if I'm ever like wondering what to do with some fabrics, and I don't keep a lot of stash, I always just have this. This is Picture This plus Barnwood and a 36 count. This color is so cool. I don't know how it looks like Barnwood, because it really doesn't, but I love that. My new obsession is Picture This plus Murky. Like, I cannot get enough of that stuff. Love it. Okay, and then, so I bought a bunch of the Little House Needleworks ornaments that I want to do. So I got Country Christmas. And this is just adorable. Main Street Station. I want to do the hometown holidays. I want to do them all. They're so cute. And then I got, oh, and then this was this year's ornament for 2016, which is also cute. And then again, I just bought one of these little pieces. Like this is 7 by 13 cream, 36 count Edinburgh, and it was $2.89. I mean, come on. It's a Zweigart. Sorry, I always say Zweigart, but it's the German girl in me. And okay, so this is a Witchelt. You can tell by the, sorry, low battery. So this is platinum, 30 count linen, 7.5 by 13.5. See what I paid for that? $3.39. I mean, you can't go wrong. This will do a couple of ornaments. You just cannot go wrong. I got this. This is very reminiscent to me of how I spend all my summers. State fair, county fair. Of course, I'd like to change that to a goat, but yeah, I mean, this has so much to do with what we do all summer long. Then I got the fabric for that. And this is a Zweigart cashel linen in flax. 28 count, which is a cashel or cashel, 13.5 by 18 inches. Great price, $8.49. Okay, so that's that. Super adorable. And okay, so I remember telling you about my little exchange with Renata from Slovakia. And so I have not received, sent her package. She received hers. Oh, and I did not take a picture of the ornament after I FFO'd it. And so she was nice enough, once she received it, she posted it on the site that we're on, and it has an ornament in it, and I will insert a picture here. So then what was on my wish list that she was so kind to send me, so this was on, I'm not sure I really understand these. These are the Bent Creek Snapperland, and you can see it in the pattern right here. It's just this little snap. Oh, sorry, that little snap. I don't really understand that. Like, you don't put anything on the snap, you just put the snap on. So, and it's like in lieu of a flower or something on this one. So anyway, she sent me this one. And these aren't all the same line because there's spring and summer and whatever, and the red. But I did the other spring one. So this really totally reminds me of my son, and it is his chore to collect eggs and to feed our chickens. So that totally reminds me of him. And this is my daughter, and I am going to sub out some of those flowers and stitch in little bunnies, and then this is going to be her and her little bunny house. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm obviously going to change the house to red because we actually have an American flag in our yard that we fly, and this is going to be our house, our farmhouse. And again, this is how we spend our summers. I'm going to try and rechart that kind of gross looking cow to be a goat, and maybe the pig a bunny. I don't know. That might be a little ambitious. We'll see. But I thought that was really cute. And then when you buy 4, then you get, they give you the chart. And you can just pop any 4 you want into those. So that's what I did. And then the fabric I got, and it's also a Witchelt. I mean, this stuff is like, it can literally, like, I mean, you unfold it and it just wants to, whoop, fold on its own. I hate it. I'm actually going to wash this and see if I wash some of the sizing out, if that helps. It's so obnoxious. But again, I just want to, so if you want to order from Stitchville, they will ship. So this is a 32 count linen, touch of blue, 18 by 27 piece of fabric for $20.99. And I really like this blue. It's, these colors will look so pretty on it. It's kind of, this light is so yellow and it's so dark, but it's kind of, it's like a sky blue. So that is super pretty. Okay, and then the other charts that were on my wish list that she sent me was Brenda Gervais, Witch's Night Out. I love that so much. I can't wait to stitch it. So that was very nice of her. And I'm obsessed with pretty much everything Carriage House Samplings. This has been on my wish list for so long, and I'm super, super excited to finally have it done. I love the colors in it. This is so freaking cute. So I'm super excited to do that. And I think I got through everything. So that's it. Oh my gosh, an hour and a half. Lord, I'm going to have to do some serious editing. But anyways, I hope I had an amazing Christmas. My 2016 was fantastic. Much changes in the years to come with the presidential election and the change in office. I am hoping that it's going to be a good thing. I think it's always questionable. I will say I've been completely disgusted in the way that humans are treating each other. Anyways, I hope that you had a great year. I will try and get back to, I'm getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm less than 15 away now. So I don't know when I'll be doing a giveaway. I suppose I will be. It's kind of customary to do them at 1,000. So I just want to say thank you so much for being so supportive. This is like, if Flosstubers could run the country, I think we could change the world. I think that this is a great example of how to treat people and how to be supportive. And if this could trickle across the nation, wouldn't that be fantastic? And anyways, thank you for being so kind, for always leaving comments or liking. I sometimes get overwhelmed with all the comments and I read them all 100% of the time, and I always hit like. I may not necessarily respond. Sometimes I read them and I just never get an opportunity to go back. I am obsessed with Instagram, and thank you to all of you who have followed me on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Ruedy Ranch, RUEDY Ranch. And I'm really looking forward to finally having baby goats again. I'm like, oof, I have a baby itch so bad that only those little white ears can do it for me. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I hope you're excited for it too. So thanks for sticking around if you've stuck around this long, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for making 2016 such a phenomenal year for me personally, and being able to share this craft that I love with you guys. Have a great night.